Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. From what we've learned last time, this was all a big setup. And now we're going to find out exactly how the setup is going to end. So with that, folks, let's not waste any more time and jump into the conclusion of our second episode of this trial, The Stolen Turnabouts. Already in progress. October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 4.
My sis?
I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
So then she's still alive. Inside your hearts. Mickey boy!
Oh, Mr. Light. Is it true that detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the one who could have done it.
But was he at Lartley Taylor that night? Not to mention we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atmey want to kill King Bullard?
Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. October 14th, 12:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. Hey everybody, the judge is back. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atmey, please take the stand.
Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly.
I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atmey has no idea what you mean. Of course, I've been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask.
Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masks. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. I take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask?
Of course.
Very well then, Luke Atmey. Let's begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., King Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But temporarily, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks. 14! Alright, Mr. Atmey. The night of the murder. Speak! We're listening.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
The alibi.
I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a perfectly easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder.
It seems the main point of discussion would be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well.
Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. And now then, if you'll excuse me,
I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atmey, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. Listen, you're not Sheena Von Karma, okay? Stop that shit.
I think he's trying to say you're full of it, Nick.
The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. And what we're going to do is we're going to press every statement. So this photograph is the proof, correct?
indeed it is.
And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask.
And that is why I am called Master Mask.
But conveniently, that also means that there's no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean?
Objection!
Are you saying that this is not, in fact, look at me? That it could be an accomplice dressed as Master Mask to create an alibi?
Oh, how? What an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lenwood Kloof, had an accomplice?
Nope. If Look At Me was at KB Security during the murder, then the Master Mask in this photo has to be a fake.
Then there really was an accomplice.
But right now, I have no idea who was.
I don't have any idea right now either.
Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point?
That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed, that was the reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once.
It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You truly are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am.
Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atmey was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if he was stealing from Lordy Taylor, well, he's the only one watching it. He'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. So by photograph you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct?
Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime.
The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
Objection!
He was simply caught by the very camera he had set up. We all have days like that.
Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue melody.
It looks like
I've better gather my information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's got to be something phony in that photo.
That sounds weird. About the camera that took this photograph.
Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you?
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lorelei Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lorelei Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious.
So this alibi is false?
Has to be, or couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security.
But I'm not really spotting anything unusual.
There are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. One, two, three. I'm still pressing that one. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct?
Indeed it is. That's it. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime.
The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now.
Lorelei Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Cain Bullard unless I had an accomplice.
Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Is there something funny about this picture? You bet there is.
Are you implying that this picture is a fake?
You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well. Then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? Well, right here. Take that! The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain! Blood! Now this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. Turns out that something should be there that is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright? What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Take that! The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training wall. I realized this statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection.
But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick?
Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? That answer just happened to be... Look at me! Take that! The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atmey.
Come now, Sunlight, there you go again on one of your strange delusions.
Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night.
That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue?
The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me, you pretended to be Master Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would have been exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you moved the statue. Single fatal flaw. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? Right here. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. But what do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atmey was to KB security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. But why does that have to do? But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was this statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atmey had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What? Of course, the statue hadn't been yet brought down to the warehouse basement. The basement warehouse yet. Yo, one moment. Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atmey must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atmey had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make room. He did to make the room match with the way it had been on. He did it to make the room match with the way he had been in his photo. Ah! Hold on! Mr. Atmey, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime.
It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Order! Mr. Coda, what is the meaning of this? Coda, I told you about making me wait. Now put the coffee down! My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good to the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point. So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think you got your points mixed up with your other points.
So you say this photograph is taken ahead of time, and that the statue is moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is 13, 14. I'm gonna call it 14. That's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor! Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes, if there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the Sacred Urn. The Sacred Urn heist.
I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and ready! It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my call 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll find the truth hidden in the nuggets of information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time?
Zawadi.
Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Well, there's only one thing we have to do. Go to 6. Okay. 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to present the following to the statement. Objection! Mr. Atmey, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct?
But of course.
Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Master Mas could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains. And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. 15.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright.
The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error. Or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn.
You can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atmey had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Nick, I think he's still a little early for a victory pose.
16. So sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? But that's a good point! No way! Don't fall for that too, Your Honor! You say that Luke Atmey was the one who killed Cain Bullard? Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might my memory murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting a second wind!
If he's prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight.
Isn't that right, detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear.
Found a motive is nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us to what the defendant's motives were. Thank you, sir. Old-timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious, despite our lack of hard information. This may be our only chance. Murder for murder. Nearly down to the last itching.
I, Luke Atmey, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever, and Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Wright saw it fit to kill Cain Ballard. Truly tragedy.
So the victim, Cain Ballard, blackmailed the defendant. So this is the blackmail found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Ballard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What?
And the blackmail letter is updated. Very well, Mr. Wright. Yeah, my cat hears me. Begin your cross-examination. Well, here we go. 1, 2, 3. What we're going to do is we're going to present this right here. Objection! Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atmey?
Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright.
When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron DeLight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction.
Contradiction?
I don't know a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
You're one to talk.
At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. Okay. Take that! Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the tear of Imanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? My cat is still meowing at me because it can hear me. The problem is this jewel's color. Color. I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red! Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Imanon that Master Mask stole at all.
Objection.
And your point is, Mr. Wright? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Wright? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that is what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. This is who Cain Ballard was actually blackmailing. Take that! Naturally, it was you, Detective Atmey.
Do you have some sort of basis for the claim?
You have been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel. As your reward, a jewel. Probably the one wrapped inconspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring! That is a diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Cain Ballard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Gah! Order Order in the court! Order, I say. 16.
It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trot. Uh-oh. I don't like the way you said that.
Came below blackmailing Luke at me. Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, come on, stand up to him.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Cain Bullard threatened to make Luke Atmey's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep secret. So just what was that identity? Atmey killed Cain Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
The identity that Luke Atmey wanted. The identity that Luke Atmey wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer. Luke Atmey was a blackmailer!
Objection.
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? It was said that Cain Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atmey. Are you saying that Atmey was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit that does sound a little odd.
It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes sense. Cain Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atmey. But Ron DeLite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start to receive blackmail letters starting after this incident?
Yes, just a few days after the Imanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans.
Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron DeLite was actually Master Mask. That's what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLite steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atmey. Shh. Silence!
Now I see, it's all becoming clear.
Well, what is?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you...
You say that I, Luke Atmey, was blackmailing Ron DeLite.
In which case, I would naturally know about his relation to Master Mask.
Well, yes.
Ron DeLite started receiving his plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime.
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. 17! In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron DeLite was Master Mask? You wanna know how? Take that! I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention.
What do you mean?
This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron DeLite in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mouse didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct? With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atmey. That's when you learned that you wore the mask. What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask?
Not only that, it looks like he wasn't supposed to be an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud trying to pass himself off as an ace detective.
And Atmey just took a shit.
Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous proud detective and all the master boss. Why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
What you? How dare you? The valves trying to the big valves and food that they never come back to my teacher. So get it screaming, come over here. And I gotta do that. I'm a bit from there. Here is enough to make one laugh.
Bullshit. It would seem we finally gotten to the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atmey.
Better prepare yourself for Mr. Atmey.
Objection.
The hell? 17! The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm only prepared to deliver my sentence. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright. Where do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atmey was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't at Lordly Taylor the night of the murder. That's right! That's why he's the one who killed Mr. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way! Order in the court. Well, Mr. Wright? This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atmey was at Mr. Ballard's office on that night.
But can you really prove that?
That's long enough. Mr. Wright, I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atmey was at KB Security and the defense can't prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Atmey's testimony.
Objection.
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten Luke Atmey is here after we interrupted his own trial? And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as master mask. No!
Well, now, Sir Lawrence, seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Moss. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron the Lights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Wait, that's not a word. Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness!
I can't believe this at this rate, Ron.
But don't give him now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. You can look for more evidence and...
By then it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
3-day limit. Double check. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy.
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. That is the fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atmey will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as master mas, which means he'll be innocent as far as the murder of King Beloved is concerned.
No way.
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atmey's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as King Beloved's murderer. Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Robin's proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atmey, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmey. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were in a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you? Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone that smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice. No way! Tits! Oh, hi, Mia. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! It's the true power to Korean channeling technique. I know that's really Maya who's standing before me. But right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fee. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia! Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor? Just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks.
Well now, Sir Lord, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mouse. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Dice will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Oh, nothing! Oh, Sir Lawrence, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods would do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, look at me. I'll allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it? This is our absolute last chance? Yes, Chief.
The last testimony.
Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Terror. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brain deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rondelite. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make the deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he had sounded it. Which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mouse outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Is it him? Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy.
11 statements. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me, and I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir, and I am.
Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec, just one chance?
Seems that the party is about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Last cup! Cup number 17. The last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. I guess I skipped out on 13, 14, 15, 16. And 12. And 11. I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. Very well then, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. Well, there's only one statement we can push. That's number 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, press on. 9. Hold it! Mr. Atmey, about this last remark.
Objection.
You still don't get it, do you, Wright? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godo. What? Mr. Atmey, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CO's office on the night of the murder.
How can you say that?
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atmey? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Light was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct?
Indeed, that's why I said my deductions are absolutely foolproof.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry, whatever do you mean?
For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn that fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was...
It was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had... I never had a chance to mention it up until now.
That's right, the defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atmey? There is no way that you should have known about that! You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Come on, the detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to know beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atmey to have found that out! Only one? One way, you say? Please remember, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw him! There's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atmey. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to follow that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible! He saw Luke Atmey. Detective Atmey, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Cain Ballard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oh no, he's powering up to wimp status!
Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival wherever my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown!
You said that in the last trial. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. Acting. What an awfully complicated incident. Cain Ballard was blackmailing Luke Atmey. who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, look at me try to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we've finally found the truth.
Excuse me.
I came personally close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. You said that yesterday, too. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. You said that today.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict?
I know. You never committed any murder.
That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mars! So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless?
What do you think, Mia?
As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute.
A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent. For now. It would seem so. For now. And now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty!
Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, that isn't good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master after all.
October 14th, 3:30 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4.
You did it. You did it, Nick.
Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of lost these days.
You mean about becoming the master of the Korean Channeling School?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother.
You mean Misty Faye?
Watch over her, will you, Phoenix?
Of course.
Well then, see you around.
Bye, boobies!
Mia. Mr. Wright! I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Light.
Thank you so much! No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore. Come on, just be happy already!
Maya.
He be cleared of murder charges and got off as Master Boot.
But in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she?
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. And I thought she would leave me for sure.
So that's why you became Master Mouse.
Yes, but it's all over now. Broken Bolt can never be put back together!
That's not true, right, Nick?
Right.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine and Nick can prove it.
I can.
Kind of wish you would check with me first.
Mr. Delight, even a bowl is broken. There's always a way to put it back together. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, and then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. Take that!
The sacred urn.
Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Oh, there you are! Mr. Light.
You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what's going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. I never imagined that you really were Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast.
So fast that there's no way he could ever get away.
But didn't you just say that you hated criminals?
Oh,
I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
Chivalrous?
I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Tessie.
Good. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes. I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy.
I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Wyatt! Congratulations!
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Dick, how could you? With a man's wife in front of Mr. Wyatt!
No, you got it all right.
I'll never do it, never, ever!
So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before. And with that, the case is closed. And with that, a new episode has been added, which will be Recipe for Turnabout next time. So with that, we will have Recipe for Turnabout. So yes, we will save here. And next time, we will take care of the first half of episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout. So with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me for this session of Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. Of course, if you like this and many other games like this, please subscribe to my channel and sit back and relax, because in the next couple of parts, we're going to jump into episode 3 with some old faces, but a new crime. So this is the Tenkaichi of Gaming, PI7, and thank you for watching. Until then, take care.